Another great this has been great so far. I've really enjoyed every episode. I like what Pearl said, Delani. Like, yeah, she knows he's trying to be a tough guy, but ain't always the answer. But in this specific uh verse, Scorpion is the leader of a gang. That's interesting take. I haven't seen that before. Last Scorpion I saw was um, the one with Iron Fist, which I think is a good choice for Scorpion too, which was also in Ultimate Spider-Man. But this one's a gang leader who's sounds like he does some messed up stuff, but we don't know yet until we see it. And Peter trying out all these costumes to find the right one, and then we get to that one at the end. But also the fact that he swung into that fire not knowing he was fireproof really shows, how committed he is. But Osborn feels so genuine. But because I know he does become like in some stories an Iron Man kind of S character where he's a good guy, but for the most part, we know how this usually turns. But right now, he just feels so like he's being honest with us. Well, Peter, I didn't mention the last episode, I don't think, but I'm liking how much like Uncle Ben is being talked about, like more so as a person than as his quote. Because despite what people be saying, like MCU and the whole ignoring Ben thing, most of the time we don't get to know Ben outside that line in any of the shows and stuff. Not like we actually talk about Ben, or if we have him, it's like for one episode. So, but in this, it feels like we know he was bowling, we know he was a photographer, or at least like cameras. I mean, they ain't say it, but we know it because certain things, and like the line in this episode where he said about New Yorkers, it feels like we actually getting to know Ben, and it ain't because of great responsibility line. It's him as a person. I feel like we're probably gonna get more of that. But also like how they using the stuff from the movies. This is like taking place in an alternate timeline slash universe, Soviet Accords and all that, and the effect it's having. I like how they're handling that because it's familiar to us, but we don't need to be told everything. But we know these characters are out there, and Peter got that animation. Well, Peter in the suit and swinging through the city where he did the roll thing like in the video game, and also the dive like in the Amazing Spider-Man movie. That was nice. Also, like Lonnie, he's trying to still study, trying to still be who he is, but it's starting to wear on him. And he said he want honesty from the boss, and he's like, "You'll get it." But he also set him up to where he came back out of this because the other gang saw his face, know who he rolls with, where he goes, most likely where he goes to school and all this, and his family. And even if Lonnie could move them, it's a little late for that now. Now this is his family now, whether he likes it or not, and we know he don't. But it's starting to beat him down a bit. I mean, he still got that fight in him, but getting right now at least he ain't get jumped like I thought he might. But and regardless of the group he in, at least he do got backup, so that's something. But then we got Peter. He probably didn't listen to that whole Osborn talking, finishing his sentence, and then he got back, started yapping at the mouth again, and Harry knows he's Spider Man. which is a different dynamic again in this one where Harry just knows from the get go and they can be friends and Peter already saved his life, so uh, curious to see where this dynamic will go now that the cat's out of the bag. Peter really needs to, I mean, he's still early in his career, so yeah, and he didn't know, and Osborn was off the phone, so but he needs to tighten up on this. But also, them criminals in the car, homeboy that was driving, I'm like, the way he driving, this is Rhino territory. I don't think the girl's gonna become Rhino, but she said she'd come back for them. So I was not expecting Doc Ock to be the one providing all this tech, and to him to already be like a villain. But she'll probably be some character that's hasn't been used and saved them, and then homeboy that was driving will probably become Rhino. I feel like, or maybe her. Who knows? But things got complicated. But also, it's funny that at regular high school, because the smart school he's supposed to go to got destroyed, so that's why he's in a different school now with like Nico. But at regular high school, he's cool with people. Everyone kind of basically likes him, but and in his Oscorp internship, he's basically. I mean, it's not like people dislike him, but he's a loser here. Like he's a nerd in a nerd place. But it's not like people dislike him necessarily. But teacher always on him. I mean, he got one the Connors who's nice, but basically, he feels like an actual. Well, he feels like the nerd loser here, whereas at regular high school, he's just a guy that people like for the most part. I mean, it's just like a small group of friends, but yeah, I noticed that. But can't wait to see what this next episode brings us.